And welcome back to my first ever Hearts of Iron 4 campaign. I've owned the game for a while, have 50, 60 hours in the game, and have never played it through. And if you recall, I am doing this series not only to get myself through an entire campaign, but hopefully encourage other people like me who waited so long to pick it up and buy it and play it. A little bit of encouragement that, yes, you too can do it. You don't need to know everything. You just gotta play. So we are almost ready to start the war down in Ethiopia. I thought we were all set up. However, I forgot one important part, and it's the part that I hate the most, the Navy. So let's begin to get the Navy set up. See, let's get, I've seen so many videos on different ways to do Navy. I'm just so confused. So we're going to figure this out as we go. All right. So we got selected all of our naval fleets, task forces, individual boats, and we're going to merge them into one, so that we can sort them out and hopefully be efficient. Now, the one thing with this, the combining of all these fleets will not take place overnight. It's going to take about 14 days for all of them to come from all the various ports from all over and merge into one location so we can sort them out into effective task force and stuff. So since we got the war ready to go on in Ethiopia, I can't just sit around and watch the Navy and wait for that to happen. Since Ethiopia doesn't have a Navy, I think we will be able to ignore the Navy for a few weeks until they get combined. So, all right. Well, here we go. This could turn out to be the shortest HOI4 YouTube campaign in history. All the forces are set up, assigned to different commanders. Here we go. I'm going to speed up a little bit as our forces deploy and redeploy. If you look at the ones that we gave orders to, for example, this one, the Northern Army, the division is still preparing, and there's some divisions not in position yet. But you know what? I'm not going to wait forever. I'm going to get them going. The same with the Army down south. 25% of the division's still not in position. You know what? I'm not waiting. Get going. And then our air forces are starting to redeploy. Did everybody get in down here? Yeah. So we're going to take our fighters, and even though Ethiopia doesn't have an air force, we're going to do an air superiority thing to give a bonus to our armies. And then with the close air support aircraft, we're going to put them on a close air support mission and do the same. There we go. All right, you'll see we've got armies that are starting to go into battle. Currently on this one, we are 65% towards winning this battle. And I don't watch these too much other than the big numbers. And you can also select individual units and micromanage them. And we might be doing that in a little bit. Now, let's go up here to the airfield in Eritrea. I want to find my fighter wings. Where's my... There we go. One of them I'm going to put on air superiority and go over to Donakill and do air superiority over there. The other wing I am going to take and put in the Ethiopian highlands. And then I am going to take all the tactical bombers, close air support aircraft that are left over and assign them to Donakill, because this is the area we really need to focus on a lot. Okay. Our troops have stalled in the war against Abyssinia and have even been pushed back in certain places. This Christmas offensive has Mussolini privately berating the military high command for incompetence. The Duce wants results now, and either by any means necessary or methodical. By any means necessary, we get an attack bonus of 15% for 180 days. And if we need to be methodical, we'll get a little bit of a break on attrition and supply consumption. We're going to go by any means necessary. I'll take the 15% attack bonus, and let's get back going again. Slow that down just a bit. Nah, let's bump it up to 2. How we doing down here? Just kind of holding steady. Up here, looks like we're getting ready to take this province. There we go. We got one province in. Now, don't forget, we've got some mountain guys and a couple other units coming over to this area in case we need to attack Alsa. All right, fellas are progressing pretty well so far. All right, let's stop for 1 minute. Let's take a look at our construction stuff. If you remember, we added some stuff like upgrading the port in Eritrea, adding some rail lines in to help our supply consumption, so we're starting to progress on that. And we've also got units that are in training. See, these guys are, is it equipment at 94%? Is that what that means? Are they almost ready to deploy, or do they get auto-deployed to this location? I don't know. Well, let's let this... All right, let's cancel that out for 1 minute. Let's... Yeah, we know we're just focusing on Ethiopia right now. All right, let's get back to the battle. Here comes some of our... There's the 3 armored units that are going down to the southern part. There's one of the mountain units that'll be eventually based over near Alsa. And here we go. We got another one that's on the verge of falling to our control. Well, it was till that happened. Now we're starting to take a little bit of a loss over in this area. As soon as the armor units get down here, we'll start doing some micromanagement. Now this guy, let's see if we can get and start capturing some empty provinces. All right, where's those armor units at? I hope they're not being harassed by the British or whoever that was over there. Now, we do have to capture Ethiopia before, I think it's 105 days. Otherwise, the leader escapes to, hold on. Otherwise, the leader escapes to England and forms a government in exile. The Empire of Japan abandons the naval treaty. Now, at the end of World War I, there was a treaty signed, I believe it was the London Naval Treaty, that limited the size of ships that could be built. Japan just abandoned that. That was one of the decisions that's in our list of things to think about. If we want to abandon that, it's going to cost us 25 political power. But that has consequences. So we're going to have to think about that. And then, then we'll come back to that. All right, we've got 3 out of the 5 mountain units where they need to be, as well as one of the other units that we set up with them. And here comes our, let's get our 3 armor units, and let's move them over to that direction. And hold on for 1 second. Ethiopian war logistics is complete for our national focus. On to the second one. Now, there's so many things and so many paths to go down with the focus tree. The Italian highways will give us 4 free infrastructures in certain areas, and also increase construction speed and infrastructure construction speed by 25%. But Army primacy will give us 2 military factories, 25 Army experience, and a 50% reduction for land doctrine. Takes 35 days to complete, and I think I'm going to take this one as my next focus. All right, let's go back and see how we're going to do here. Success in North Ethiopia. Mussolini has nothing but praise and admiration for the armies in the north and their success in pushing back their opponents. He, of course, never doubted the prowess of our troops as long as they got the right motivation from their Duce and the tools to prevail. All right, let's keep going. Come on, fellas, keep it going. All right, time to deal with the Sultanate of Hausa. That's this location right here. Muhammad Yayo, the Sultan of the Sultanate of Hausa, has for a long time been under Italian influence. Just like during the last war, he has remained neutral, despite formally being part of the Ethiopian Empire. In fact, the only reason that the Sultan still has power is due to Italian goodwill. However, let's send him an ultimatum demanding total subjugation, or deal with him later. Yeah, let's tell him to give it up. Now you notice our armor units came down here and we started making some headway. All right, they folded. We've taken over the territory. Let's take this army and move the front line for them up to... All I want to do is come up here. Right there. And then let's do an offensive line of there. All right, let's see how that works. And we're at 10 February. Hold on. Let's take a look at construction. We're still... Why are we up to level 6? Let's cancel that. I only wanted to go up to like level 3 or something. And I wanted to go to level 3 on the railway, I think. Yeah, let's go to level 3 on the railway. All right, now hold on for one second. Now, this is a good example of when you learn individual pieces of this game separately from being in-game. It becomes really confusing when you're working against time and 10 other things all happening at once, rather than just on the one specific function of the game. And this, yeah, this is causing me a little bit of anxiety here. All right, let's get back to it. Drop it down to 2. Making some progress here. Let's take this guy and have him go up there. Take this. Let's see if we can cut some people off. Uh-oh. I don't think that's what I wanted to do.
Avanti! Ripiegate! Formazione! Sì, signore.
What? Let's take those guys and move up there. Take this guy, come over here. We got February. Let's take these guys and come down here. Let's take one of these units and come over here. Let's take one of these guys and we're gonna need them over here. All right. Bring these guys down here. Yeah, this is probably one of the more intense games I've ever had experience with. This is crazy. Okay, let's take a stop for a second. All right, we're starting to get we got the railroad down, got it up to 2. Looks like we're getting it up to 1 here very soon. Hopefully that'll increase our supply things. And you know what? Let's go to our... Do we have... We do. We have unassigned divisions. Where's this guy at? Bring him down here. No. Wait a minute. Yeah, all right, we'll do that. Are any of these guys able to deploy yet? You know what? I think I want to deploy. I know they're not fully equipped or trained yet. I'm going to try something. I'm going to deploy these guys, and then I'm going to use them to reinforce. Let's see. Well, I got a whole bunch of unassigned units. Let's take those two and assign them to this guy. That'll give him 24 of 24. And then let's take these last three, assign them to this guy. And maybe they'll get fully equipped by the time that we're ready to push down that way. All right, let's go in here. Let's get this done with. Let's get this guy over here. All right, we close this off. Yeah, let's get those guys over there. And let's see if we can swing those guys up there. And let's take one of these guys and move him down the line.
Sì, signore. Formazione. Forza, forza! Attento! Forza, forza! Avanti!
Come on, let's push, guys. Let's push. All right, there we go. Breakthrough.
Prendete la mira! Comandi!
All right, now let's stop again for a second. Let's check construction again. All right, we've got the railroad up in Eritrea built. Now, another thing I would like to do, the air assets on the air map. Hold on. Let's try this again. So the battles are currently taking place not any longer in Danakil, but over in the Ethiopian highlands. So what I'm going to do is take all these air assets that were in Danakil, and I'm going to move them over to Ethiopian highlands. And the one fighter unit that was in Danakil, I'm going to move them over to the Ethiopian highlands. Let's see if that gives us a little better
Andiamo! Non fermatevi!
Oh, national focus complete, Army primacy. Okay, so we're up to 52 Army experience and 63 command power. So first thing, let's go to the officer corps and look at, wait a minute, where's doctrine at? Where is doctrine under here? Where is doctrine? That's tactics. Now, Spirit of the Academy, I think bold attack is where we're going to want to go with that. Okay, the officer corps. Can get a military high command. Division recovery rate looks good. Infantry division attack plus 10%. Oh, you need 100 for that. Doggone it. Am I going to be able to wait that long? Division recovery rate. Or do I wait? Two per day. I need 25. That's 12 days. Let's wait the 12 days and take the infantry division attack. And I'm still trying to figure out where doctrine is. Oh, there we go. Doctrine's available. Duh. All right. Infantry doctrine. We'll take that, and we've got to wait till 60 to be able to take a sub-doctrine that's any benefit. Yeah, okay. Well, we kind of messed that up, but that's okay. I think we'll survive. I say I needed for that 60 experience, and we need 100 over there. See what I mean about learning individual pieces, and then you're trying to figure out how to get stuff in here. And all right, we have one military factory available. Do we want to bump anything up? Let's look at our logistics. What are we missing? Artillery, infantry equipment. Trucks we're catching up with. Support equipment. Man, we're short on a lot of stuff. So let's bump up Let's bump up support equipment 1. All right, back at it. Germany has stationed troops in the Rhineland territory close to the French border in violation of the Treaty of Versailles. All right, that is worrying. But we got issues down here in Ethiopia. Turkey remilitarizes the Turkish Straits, another broken treaty.
Ordini. Andiamo.
All right, come on, fellas, get going.
Ripiegate.
Success in South Ethiopia. We have pushed back the enemy. Hold on. Take a stop. Solid progress. What was that all about? I think that's the one that when you complete the North and South Ethiopia, when you get those 2 pop-ups that you have them on the run. Yeah, we gained, Mussolini gained some popularity and so forth, but it also opens up where we are now able to research the Intel organization. And we forgot to take another focus when Army Primacy completed. Italian Highways is going to give the mainland some infrastructure benefits.
Pronto, signore. Forza, muovetevi. Forza, forza, forza.
Let's get those guys to pin that.
Avanzate.
Let's get him to pin that, and then, okay, there we go. And also, we just gained an airfield. So what I'm going to want to do is take these 2 air units, move them up here. Are we at March? We need to be quick here, fellas. Come on.
Andiamo.
All right, let's put them over in Ethiopia Highlands. Why can they not? Why are they not able to do that? Why won't they? Oh, because can only do in this area. I totally forgot about that. This is their range. Even though they're right next to this, out of this airbase, their range is this area. Boo. All right, we're closing in on these guys. Get those guys there. Get these guys here. Move these guys up here.
Comandi.
And start getting everybody to close in on Addis Ababa.
Sì, signore. Andiamo.
Come on, let's get this done. We're running out of time. Now, if we look at... Oh, and I think we're getting close to being able to use some of this other stuff. Where's the war... Yeah, the London Naval Conference, we're going to let go. We're not going to... We've got 21 days to end the war. Do we... Yeah, we need 60 for that. Okay, we're... What was the 100 we were waiting for? That was in... Is that in Officer Corps? Yeah, that was... This guy. Yeah, let's do that. Research. We're getting close on one. The other ones are still up there. And we finished all the railroad stuff. And now we're moving on to some of the other areas that we set up. All right, come on, fellas, keep it going.
Sì, signore. Mantenete le distanze.
All right, Ethiopia has capitulated, giving us access to 50% of their stockpiled equipment, over 1,000 basic infantry equipment, a couple trains, and 14K of fuel. Awesome. Benito Mussolini has announced cowardly Ethiopian nation could no longer withstand the pressure from the overwhelming presence of Italian forces. Great news. Now, here's the thing. We can either take Ethiopia under our control, but I don't think I'm going to do that because that takes a lot of manpower. And, you know, everything I've watched, people are split 50-50 between take it all or puppet it out. And I think I'm going to puppet it out. So we're going to go through here, all of those. That. All of those. Now, after we do this, I have no clue what comes next. Yeah, and the other thing that I saw is war reparations. So we're gonna stack on all that. Okay, and all right. Okay, here's the peace conference stuff. I have no idea how to read that. Current demands. We're going to puppet all of those out. Going to submit demands. And confirm an exit, I guess. I don't know. Am I sure I want to? No, I'm not. Okay, we'll keep... Hold up. We're going to stop the clock. The Treaty of Addis Ababa, Ethiopia was annexed, and then all of these were puppeted. I think that's what I wanted to do. I don't know. We're going to click OK with that. And that's currently what we're looking like right here. Wow. That was insane. You know, we're about 40 minutes in. I'm trying to keep my episodes to less than an hour. I think what we're going to do is stop right here for today. And when we come back for the next episode, I think we'll take a look at our... Oh, by the way, okay, we do have a focus going on. We'll take a look at our construction that's starting to progress. And also, since we gained those that infrastructure down in this area, and now that we have infrastructure construction bonus for the next year, we'll update some of this. We've got things to repair down in Africa. We've got points building up that we need to use. Our fuel level is kind of good for now. And then our... hold on. Our Navy, we are going to need to take a look at and start sorting this out. So, there you go. There you have it. I made it through my first battle, and while still taking care of other stuff. For those of you who have either bought the game and not played it yet, or if you're on the verge of buying it, I've had this game for 6 months and kind of went halfway through the tutorial, bits and pieces from watching excellent creators, but to be able to try to put it all together in this, it's actually really, really fun. For those of you that have a lot of experience in HOI4, could you please drop a comment in the comment section below? Let me know how I'm doing. Give me some tips for maybe where to go next, because this is just crazy. But thank you all for joining me today. I'm so glad you did. Hit that like button and subscribe, and drop any comments in the comment section down below. Next episode I hope to have up in a few days. I am running an Antastasi campaign at the same time as this. But look for a new one in a couple days. So with that, I think what I'll say is see ya next time.